Shalom Aleichem, we're learning the Sicha Vaeschanan Gimel, a powerful Sicha about Miriam bas Bilgah. Now, the Rebbe spoke a few times about Miriam bas Bilgah throughout the years. This Sicha is based on a Farbrengen of Chaf Menachemav Tavshin Yudalid. Then there was Vav Tishrei Tavshin Chav Dalid. Then there was, that's the two that formed this Sicha. Then there was Vav Tishrei Tavshin Lamed Hey and Simchas Torah Tavshin Lamed Hey. The famous Sicha where the Rebbe spoke about Bilgah. I'm just going to play a small snippet of it in just a minute. And then a few years ago, Teres Menachem took all these Sichas, not so much the first one, Chav Menachem of Tavshin Yudalid, but the other three, and combined them into a Hadran on Maseches Sukkah. But I want to start off the shir with the powerful words of the Rebbe on Vav Tishrei Tavshin Lamed Hey. You can see the Sicha more extensive on Chabad.org, etc. But let's begin.
Wo das der Limus Schuss, was da Bilgah bas Miriam. Zet men as viele in Azami meine du Matze von Emiro das, wenn es asli und gegangen mit de Goyim, was ein gegangen in Beis Hamikdash. Versteht sich, als nie gewesen in der Nefen Schultar. Allah es kam bei ihm. Was hat gehabt, für was der Mizbeach nicht Medien auf Ayiden? Und das sagt mir, was ein jüdisch Kind ist, nicht asli Sadi. Der Sadi, was hat noch gehalten mit ihnen und hat angenommen Jerusalem, hat angenommen der Beis Hamikdash, angenommen die Mizbeach. Und sie geht mit ihm mit als ein Sami, was ein Scheich ist. Schaut danach, aber sie da sagt, was tut sich mit der zweiten Nieden, schreit sie, Lukus, Lukus, für was hältst du nicht Nieden? Verfolgt erzählt, dass die Gemorre Komer Lejil, nicht hast du schon in das Appel begnüssen Shel Yisroel. Adrabi im Druf darf man die Gemorre erzählt, dass gedei zu beweisen, was Ayid ist, was dort der Hero Lechola.
So, continue watching the Sicha, but just to hear that they were, literally breaking down in tears, Lukus, and explaining what she meant. Now, there was an interesting follow-up to that Sicha on Simchas Torah Tavshin Lamed Hey. The Rebbe explored an issue that some people had about the limit chus, about the merit that the Rebbe found in Miriam bas Bilgah. So the Rebbe goes in the Sicha and says, regarding the shtatfus, to be participating in the Kinnis Torah, we spoke on Vav Tishrei, the Siyam of Maseches Sukkah, and we spoke about Mishperes Bilgah, etc. And there's 2 days in the Gemara why they were punished. One reason because they weren't quick enough, another one because of Miriam bas Bilgah, etc. We spoke about it. And there's some people who were wondering why I'm being Malamet Chus on Miriam bas Bilgah. But the Mishnah clearly says, have you done this? Kol Adam L'chav Schus. Torah tells us you have to be Malamet Schus on a Yid. And it doesn't mean that when you bring Malamet Schus and you're giving them the benefit, it's not that you're making up something that's not true. It's true, even before you were Lamet Schus. Even before you said it. But by articulating it, you're revealing the true thing. And the opposite you see with Lashon Hara. Like we know that it says in Sifrei Musa, the Lashon Hara kills 3 people. The people who speaks, the person who hears it, and the person they're talking about. Now, what did the guy do wrong that they're talking about him? Why does he deserve a punishment? And the answer is because the Lashon Hara is not that you're saying a lie. That's Motzi Shemra. Lashon Hara is the truth. And it accomplishes something negative because now it was exposed into the world. Till now it was secret. Now it's being exposed. And you wouldn't necessarily get punished. Now you brought it out. So in the positive, you also see the same thing. And regarding the limit schus, there's a story at Alter Rebbe. This is where things got really unusual. Rebbe shared a story at Alter Rebbe that's printed in one of the Bichlach that came recently. There's a story at Alter Rebbe that even though who can compare themselves to Alter Rebbe, but after he opened the door, then it's open for everybody. As we know, the Baal Shem Tov said that one time the Beis Yosef was really struggling to answer something, and then he saw somebody else was able to figure it out easily. So he was very upset. I put so much effort. And Arizal, who was his teacher, by the way, said that you struggle to bring it into the world, but once this idea is in the world, even a simple person can pick it up. So Rebbe says, based on this, we heard a story at Alter Rebbe, that one time Alter Rebbe was sitting with Yechidei Skulas, special chassidim, and they brought in front of him somebody who had a spirit, a dibuk, etc. And the Alter Rebbe started talking about the Yidden who killed Zechariah Hanavi. This was during Bayis Rishon. And it says on the pasuk, "Hayareg kohen benavi b'mikdash Hashem." How could a kohen be killed in Mikdash Hashem? Now the Alter Rebbe said that the people who killed Zechariah were tzaddikim, which is not the way the narrative always was. And why did they kill him? Because we know that when it comes to saying a prophecy, there's a difference if the Navi says it or if he doesn't say it. Before he says it, it's possible to change. But after he says it, it could change. It cannot change. He brought it into the world. And they knew that Zechariah Navi is going to come and say a nevuah that the Beis Hamikdash is going to be destroyed. And in order that this nevuah doesn't come to fulfillment, they gave themselves over to kill him, so that the nevuah will not come into words. So that it could then, hopefully not materialize. Now, this happened in front of people in Beis Hashem, etc., and therefore they killed him. Says the Alter Rebbe, then the question is on the Zechariah Navi itself. He knew that not every prophecy has to be said, that a prophecy that's not said won't materialize. Why did he want to say it? Now, if you're going to say the reason he wanted to say it is because otherwise he would be chayiv misa, well, those people who killed him were also going to get misa for killing him, and they had Mesiras Nefesh. Why wouldn't he have Mesiras Nefesh? It's now the Alter Rebbe turned the question on the Zechariah Navi. And he said, the Alter Rebbe explained that because Zechariah was a Navi, and he had a tzivui from Hashem, and a Navi doesn't have a Metzias for itself, a Navi does what Hashem tells him, so therefore he can't sit there using logic and using his own thing. Why to not say Nevuos? But these people were not a Navi, and they were Taket Tzadikim, but they couldn't tolerate that he would say something, but they didn't have the ultimate lack of Metzias, so they killed him. When the Alter Rebbe finished saying this Torah, these words, the dibuk, the ruach went out of the people, this person. Alter Rebbe said that the ruach of the people who killed Zechariah was through bederech ibur. It's different than dibuk. It's similar in this person, and not through the fact that they were malamet schus. The Navi came into bederech ibur. Through he was malamet schus, they fixed the ruach, and now this person got rid of the ruach. So you see the mile of limut schus. And then the Rebbe went on to talk about Miriam. And at least the people who were at this Farbrengen, there was a Simchas Torah Farbrengen, and we know Simchas Torah Shatnish, and certain things were said at Simchas Torah Farbrengens that never really were said elsewhere. The crowd felt that the reason they ever brought the story is because there was something similar going on at the time, and that there was a dibuk. I read somewhere that before Vav Tishrei that year, they never received a letter from somebody that was having some kind of spirit inside of them, and that's why the Rebbe said this thing. But regardless, the Rebbe was Melamed Schus, and then I'll just finish off with showing you when they brought it all together, the Hadron on Maseches Sukkah. So, as I mentioned, they brought it together, which is very quite amazing. And here, so basically, they brought this Farbrengen in this Hadron. They brought it. This came out in honor of Chaf Shvat Tavshin Samach Ches, and it was Vav Tishrei Tavshin Chav Ches, Vav Tishrei and Simchas Torah Tavshin Lamed Hey, and they brought it out together, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful Sicha that with very powerful ideas. As we learned some of the stuff that were added later on, and give the limut schus for Miriam Bas Bilgah, which is chances are the more famous parts of the Sichas, not the one that we learned here in the Sicha, the Chaim Shalom.